The Mary Celeste is arguably the most famous ghost ship. There are countless theories about what happened to the ship and her crew. Many today are still trying to solve the mysteries of this ship. Yet each theory leads to more questions. The Mary Celeste, an American registered brigantine, was found 400 miles east of the Azores. She was still seaworthy, the cargo was still intact, and there was 6 months' worth of food and supplies. The only things that were missing were the navigation tools and the 10-man crew aboard. The Mary Celeste was laid in the late 1860s, at the shipyard of Joshua Dewis in the village of Spencer's Island. She was originally registered as a British brigantine. The Mary Celeste was laid in the late 1860s, at the shipyard of Joshua Dewis in the village of Spencer's Island. She was originally registered as a British brigantine. After supervising the ship's loading, McClellan fell sick and soon after passed away. After that, the Mary Celeste had a few more captains and a couple of mishaps too. She also collided with another ship in the English Channel. This gave the ship a bad reputation, and some people believed it was cursed with bad luck. In 1868 the ship was re-registered as an American brigantine, and renamed Mary Celeste. The ship had set sail from New York to Genoa on November 7, 1872, with a crew of 8 alongside Captain Briggs, his wife Sarah, and his 2-year-old daughter Sophia. Almost a month later, a passing British ship called Dei Gratia spotted Mary Celeste at full sail and adrift about 400 miles east of the Azores. There was nobody aboard. The ship had about 3 feet of water in the hold, and the lifeboat was missing. The ship was also undamaged. According to the last entry in the ship's logbook, made that morning, Mary Celeste was within sight of the Azores island of Santa Maria, some 500 miles from where the Dei Gratia would find it 9 days later. At the salvage hearings in Gibraltar following her recovery, the court's officers considered various possibilities of foul play, including mutiny by Mary Celeste's crew, piracy by the Dei Gratia crew or others, and conspiracy to carry out insurance or salvage fraud. No convincing evidence was found to support these theories, but unresolved suspicions led to a relatively low salvage award. Mary Celeste continued in service under new owners. In 1885, her captain deliberately wrecked her off the coast of Haiti, as part of an attempted insurance fraud. The inconclusive nature of the hearings helped to foster continued speculation as to the nature of the mystery, and the story has repeatedly been complicated by false detail and fantasy. Hypotheses that have been advanced include the effects on the crew of alcohol fumes rising from the cargo, submarine earthquakes, cicakes, waterspouts, attacks by giant squid, and paranormal intervention. Many theories have been made, but the most logical one to me, and the one that I agree with, is that Briggs saw a storm coming, so in fear he told everybody to abandon ship and get on a lifeboat. And somehow, the rope that connected the lifeboat to the ship came loose, and they eventually drifted away. Another logical theory is that due to turbulence or porous barrels, noxious alcoholic fumes may have escaped, either causing a small explosion or making the crew think an explosion was imminent. This might have led Briggs to order the crew to abandon ship, putting everyone in the lifeboat. The rope attached to the ship might have come undone, which might have led to them drifting away from the ship. Another famous story was that the ship was attacked by the infamous sea monster, the Kraken, a giant squid that attacks ships and brings them to their doom. It's said that the monster has been terrorizing sailors across the world for many years. The story of the Mary Celeste 1872 abandonment has been recounted and dramatized many times in documentaries, novels, plays and films, and the name of the ship has become synonymous with unexplained desertion. In 1884, Arthur Conan Doyle wrote a short story based on the mystery, but spelled the vessel's name as Marie Celeste. This spelling has now become more common than the original in everyday use. In the decades that followed, fact and fiction became intertwined. As late as June 1883, the Los Angeles Times retold the Mary Celeste story with invented detail. Every sail was set, the tiller was lashed fast, not a rope was out of place. The fire was burning in the galley. The dinner was standing untasted and scarcely cold. The log was written up to the hour of her discovery. 20 years later, in the November 1906 Overland Monthly and Out West magazine, Mary Celeste was recorded as drifting off the Cape Verde Islands, some 1,400 nautical miles (2,600 kilometers) south of the actual location. Among many inaccuracies, the first mate was a man named Briggs, and there were live chickens on board. The most influential retelling, which according to many commentators ensured that the Mary Celeste affair would never be forgotten, was a story in the January 1884 issue of the Cornhill magazine. This was an early work of Arthur Conan Doyle, then a 25-year-old ship's surgeon. Doyle's story, entitled J. Habakkuk Jeffson's Statement, did not adhere to the facts. He renamed the ship Marie Celeste. The captain's name was J.W. Tibbs. The fatal voyage took place in 1873 and was from Boston to Lisbon. The vessel carried passengers, among them the eponymous Jeffson. In the story, another passenger, a fanatic named Septimus Goring with a hatred of the white race, has suborned members of the crew to murder Tibbs and take the vessel to the shores of Western Africa. Till this day the mystery of the Mary Celeste has not been solved. Will we ever be sure of what actually happened to the ship and its crew?